Rihanna is finally breaking her silence on what Jay-Z did to her when she was just 17 years old, and the details are way more disturbing than you may think. There were already rumors going around for years that he and Rihanna had an intimate relationship when she was just 17, and he allegedly ended up infecting her with an STD, which she gave to Chris Brown and Travis Scott. To make matters even worse, all this is coming out around the same time that he's getting sued for allegedly gang essaying a 13-year-old at a party. It's really giving Diddy 2.0. The topic around Rihanna allegedly getting sued by Jay was brought back up a few days ago when Jay and Diddy were sued for allegedly essaying a 13-year-old girl. Now, if y'all remember, there were some rumors going around back in the day about Jay making Rihanna his side piece when she was just 17. This was shortly after she signed to Def Jam Records. The rumor about the affair was started by Rihanna's publicist at the time, and the news spread quickly like wildfire. It got way worse when Rihanna herself recalled how Jay would lock her up in his office till 3 a.m.
So tell me about your audition with Jay-Z. Tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
Yes.
But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pon de Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh, yes. He said, we don't sing songs here. We sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay-Z, you met Beyonce.
That's right.
How was it like meeting her?
I could not speak.
Really?
Really. That's someone I really looked up to for a long time. And it was after one of my showcases, and he was introducing me to everyone from the label. Then he finally said, okay, one more person. And there she was. And I could not speak.
And she gave you some advice.
Yes, she did. She just told me to, when I get on stage, let loose, have fun, and be in control.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to let it go.
No.
Because she'd be like, what? You know how she does it. But we're going to be hooking up the whole audience with your CD.
Oh, thank you!
But as expected, Jay-Z used his power to make all this disappear before it could get any bigger. The publicist who spilled the tea about the affair mysteriously came back and backtracked. He claimed he made all of it up in a desperate attempt to promote Rihanna's debut single, Pon de Replay. He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Pon de Replay," he said in this statement. "It was reckless and I didn't think it was gonna work. I was just throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what would stick." But a lot of people did not believe this because they felt like Jay forced the publicist to take back the allegations. And then these allegations got even worse when a video resurfaced of the adult film star Hailey Dean making some serious allegations about Rihanna giving Travis Scott STDs. Hailey claimed in the video that Rihanna was dating her boss, who was a billionaire king in Africa. She allegedly gave him an STD as well. Jay allegedly infected Rihanna with chlamydia, and she's allegedly been handing it out ever since. And get this, the billionaire king in question had a whole wife back in Africa, and he allegedly went home and gave her some of that chlamydia.
They say you look like Rihanna.
She hates me.
Why?
Because I worked with her a few years ago on, this is when she had her foundation. Right before she launched her what was it at that time? That
Fenty?
But no, I think it was before the Fenty, because it was whatever Kylie came out with. They all went in cahoots. They were all arguing with each other. And that was when Kim came out with her line, Kylie came out with her line. But Rihanna had this foundation back in 2015, and it was her white gala. And that was when she kind of like was sponsored on med beds, high tech, all that. Well, I helped fundraise her gala here in Hollywood. Well, she was my boss and gave my boss chlamydia. And here I am, the alleged, yeah, I am a everyone thought that I was the one f***ing my boss, and in all reality it was this. And so it just literally got to the point where all that came out, that she got him sick, that because he was married, he's can you put your seatbelt or behind you? You don't have to put it on, but behind you. He's a king, or he's a prince in Africa, and so he came out here back in 2013, worked with Global Canvasser, which was a nonprofit, and then worked with UNICEF in the United Nations. That's where I got on, and I was able to partner with UNICEF in the United Nations. So I lived out in Australia for a little bit working with this corporation. Well,
Haley was not done with the allegations just yet. She also accused Rihanna of also infecting Travis Scott with her chlamydia. Travis used to date Rihanna before, but he kept the relationship a secret for the most part. And people believe it's because of the STD Rihanna had allegedly given him. Their relationship wasn't confirmed until one of the publishers of Complex magazine, Lawrence Schlossman, decided to be very messy and spill the tea about how Travis begged him not to publish his relationship with Rihanna. However, he still went on to announce it anyway, and this caused some tension between him, Travis, and Rihanna. I broke the news about him and Rihanna, which they told me not to do. It's not because he's like, don't tell anyone I'm smashing Rihanna. It's because Rihanna's like, don't tell anyone that I'm smashing Travis Scott, please. It's obviously embarrassing as F. Oh, but that ain't all, y'all. Haley said once Travis caught the STD, he left Rihanna and went back to Kylie, which means she probably got it too. Now, this ain't the first time Rihanna's been accused of spreading that STD that Jay-Z allegedly gave her. A few years ago, Jaguar Wright also accused her of getting an STD from Jay and affecting Chris Brown with it. Apparently, Chris knew Jay was hooking up with Rihanna, but her infecting him with the STD is where he drew the line.
How long are you guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and Rihanna? You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how the fuck did, you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed to the Def Jam. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was Jay-Z. Underage. Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown.
According to Jaguar, the infection is what triggered Chris to get aggressive with Rihanna that night. Not only did she get Chris infected, but when Chris pulled up on her in Davis's house to talk about the situation, he saw her having another man's D in her mouth, sucking the soul out of him. Allegedly, Jaguar also said that Jay and Rihanna decided to switch up the whole story and give an entirely different account of what happened so the truth wouldn't be exposed.
Night, when he had that outbreak and he busted in the Davis's house and said, "Where the f is this dirty cat?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes. And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that blow in the closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "You always f***ing something." Then he said, "I'm f***ing done with you." And he stormed out of house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at his house the night before the Grammys. She in the car trying to him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have killed the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the fuck away from her. because Lord knows he couldn't get away from the herpes.
Oh,
And he hit her back. Calm down. And all of this is happening while he's doing damn near 100 miles per hour in a sports car on Pacific Coast Highway while he's still trying to register that he is beautiful Chris Brown and his is now trash at 19
my.
because he got set up with a that was in a who gave her herpes. And that's what happened. And people wonder why I speak up for Chris Brown. That's why. And if I'm lying, all of them can sue me, even you, Riri. And then they sat there and Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk shit about that little boy. And then they put together that whole sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America hated him for defending himself against that crazy. I mean, she's sexy as shit and she's pure, and she has all of my respect when it comes to the game. But you ruined Chris Brown's life, and you knew you ruined his life, and the only reason you did it was because your Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
And in case y'all are wondering where Jaguar got this tea from, she claims she was at the party that night and saw all of it go down.
The situation.
That's what the happened that night, and I know because I was at the party. It was the last kiss the pinky ring party I ever went to.
Now, like I said before, the main reason why people brought all this back up again is because the current lawsuit that's been filed against Diddy and Jay is by a woman who claims they SA'd her when she was 13. She was driven by Diddy's bodyguard to an after party hosted by Diddy after the 2000 VMAs, and that's where she drank a few glasses of drinks, which were later confirmed to be laced. Once she went into one of the rooms to rest and sober up, Diddy and Jay allegedly came in and took turns SAing her. At some point, Diddy even tried to force her to give him fellatio, but she escaped and ran to a gas station to call her dad, who was able to drive to the location to pick her up. A lot of people believe this because they felt like it was similar to what Jay had allegedly done to so many other people, including Rihanna. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, "Isn't Jay-Z the same person who threatened to throw an underage Rihanna out of a window if she didn't sign to his label? I believe any allegation against him. Lock his behind up with Diddy." Another person said, "So she was flown to another country and told she either got to sign or put out the window, and y'all grown people just let it slide?" But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Jay-Z getting exposed for allegedly touching Rihanna too? And do y'all really think Rihanna should come out and spill the tea about everything he's done to her? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.